Woo-wee! What a beautiful day in Pennsylvania. Just had the e-bike out for a ride, just turned over 100 miles on it. So I'm going to do a little review, let you know what I think about this bike. Stay tuned. I'd like to give you my top 5 positives of the Lectric 2.0 Ebike and 5 of the things I'm not really too excited about on the bikes. Let's start with the good stuff here. First of all, whenever you order it and the bike comes in, the packaging is phenomenal. I mean, it's packaged very well, a lot of ties you have to cut, but there was no scrapes on this thing. It was so easy. You just basically unfolded it, put the handlebars in, spun the seat around. That was basically all you had to do when you get the bike to unpack it. Number 2 thing I like about the e-bike is the price. For $1,000, $1,000 is a lot of money, but it is affordable for a lot of us folks. There's bikes up there you can spend $6,000, $7,000, probably more than that, $1,000 on. But for the occasional biker and camper, for $1,000, I think it's a great investment. What else I liked about this bike is the quality. I mean, there's no flimsy here to it. I mean, everything that I saw so far has proven to me that this is really a well-built, thought-out bike. Another thing that we like, and my wife and I both like, these are both step-through models here. So, although there's not a lot of difference between the other model, which has the bar up a little higher, it does make it easy just to step in. And when you start getting up in age like me, and your knees don't want to bend quite as much, it's something to take into consideration. The other thing about these bikes is ease of use. Now, it's not going to make you a Tour de France person, but for the average person that wants to get out there, get their joints moving, you can put as much into it as far as exercise or the least you want to do to it. But this is a good bike to get people moving. It's not going to make you an enthusiast, but it will get you moving and get some parts going that you might not have exercised for a while. One of the things that really I don't like, and there's not, I mean, a couple I don't like, the other I'm just sort of nitpicking, but the number one thing I don't like on this bike is the key location. So the key location is down here, and it's sort of hard to get it up in there. You have to have it at an angle at first, and there's other holes up here too, so you might be prone to put the key in there. But the key is just cumbersome. It takes a lot of fidgeting to get it done, and that's one of my that's my number 1 complaint about this bike. My number 2 complaint is up here on the throttle. Now, I have a tendency to keep my hand a little bit too close to the throttle, so you can be pedaling along and by mistake hit the throttle a little bit, so I try and keep my hands out here. I know that's sort of nitpicking, but if you're going around a little sharp curve or something and you're pedaling and you hit that throttle, you might spin out if there's some gravel there, so something to consider. My other number 3 complaint here, which is sort of nitpicking, but this is where you charge your battery. And for the love of me, I cannot get this plug in there. This is a dust cover, so it's kind of important that you keep it plugged so you don't get dust in there. But for the life of me, I cannot get that thing to go in, so I have to get my wife to do it for me. And another thing that we're not particularly fond of, and you can get it accessorized, but the standard seat that comes with it is not very comfortable, as I'm sure a lot of the other people that do the reviews on e-bikes point that out too. So just to get around a little bit, it's fine, but if you want to put, 4, 5, 6 miles, 7 miles or more on your bike, it does get uncomfortable, and you want to go to maybe a seat like this, which you can pick up at anywhere, Walmart, Amazon, but it makes a huge difference. Just a little thing, that the kickstand can be bothersome sometimes too. You step through, you don't realize that the kickstand is down. So just be aware, you put your kickstand up before you take off. I think it would fold up if you would hit anything, but regardless, that's about it. So just to recap, I like the packaging, I like the price, I like the quality, I love the step-through feature for us folks that have little creaky knees, and the ease of use that gets me out there, gets me motivated, put as much effort as I want or I don't want to put into this bike. What I didn't like, the key lock, the throttle, the rubber plug, the seat it comes with, and the kickstand. So I'd like to go over a few of the accessories that we put on our e-bikes to make it a little more comfortable, a little more convenient around the campground. Because a lot of the campgrounds we go to now, they have bike trails that might go into the little town or city, and so it makes it a little easier if you want to go in, just grab some eggs, milk, whatever you need. So we did some accessories. We'll start up here at the front, and one of our best accessories is the mirror here, and we put it on the left because you're supposed to ride with the flow of traffic, and it makes a big, huge difference having that mirror on there. As you come back further on the bike, the standard seat is not much of a seat, and so we upgraded Charlotte's with the ULG. We got it off of Amazon. Very nice seat, has springs down here, wide seat, makes it very comfortable for her, and that's something I'm going to upgrade to myself. Another thing you need definitely is a helmet. Doesn't matter whether you're a young kid or my age or older, there's always that chance falling over, hitting your head, ruining your vacation, possibly your life. Not a good deal. So as far as our basket, this is our Walmart edition basket that sort of blends in with Charlotte's paint scheme here. Very nice addition. You can look for yourself, you can put quite a bit in there. I think you're allowed up to, it's either 50 or 60 pounds weight. I don't know if this plastic one would hold that much, but it holds enough to get us through the day. Also something that we added onto our bikes here is when you're out in the evening, early morning, riding your bike around, we put on this blink light here. And it has several modes. The mode I like is that one right there. And just a little extra safety feature for you. Something else that we put on our bikes were some license plates. You gotta have some plates on there to say what you're all about. Charlotte's born to ride, and I'll show you what mine says. Too fast for you. That's right, I had this thing up to 22 miles an hour, although you can program it so you can go faster, but that's getting along pretty good. So another accessory that I have on my bike, I have the GoPro mount here, so we can do a little GoProing when we're out riding around. And I went with the Fonton bike, I call it. This is a little snazzier basket, low profile, nice see-through. You know, I like to pimp my bike pretty nice. We also have this cable here with a lock, which whenever you go, you don't want your bike to end up missing if you go into town and walk around or have dinner, whatever you do. So we usually chain them together and lock them onto something. So those are a few of the accessories that we got with our bike that really makes it a lot more convenient and easy for us to use. And we hope this helps you out. If you have any questions about how we did the baskets, leave us a comment there. Okay, so I just did the, I guess, 100-mile maintenance on this that they suggest you do. And I want to tell you, there's not a whole lot you have to do. Basically, you want to make sure, regardless, that you have the right tire pressure in the tires, which the maximum it says is 30 pounds. I just went over, I checked all the cables to make sure they weren't rubbing on anything, and they were all fine. I took the hex wrench, and it's a 5mm and a 4mm you need. I went through all the hex nuts to make sure that they were still snug and secure, which they all were, except for one on Charlotte's bike was the bracket back here. That one was loose. But other than that, checking your cables, make sure they're good, they're not rubbing on anything, and then chain maintenance. And what I did, I took my chain degreaser, I put my rubber gloves on, and just sprayed the chain, wiped it off with chain degreaser, rotated it, kept spraying it, rotating it, wiping it off with a cloth. And after I degreased the whole chain, I let it set a little bit, and I have some chain lube which we use for our motorcycles, and just sprayed the chain, and then I just rotated it. And basically that was it, other than wiping it down. That's all I did for the 100-mile maintenance, and I don't see any issues with anything going on here. Even the shocks up here are doing a nice job. Still shifts great, so I don't see any issue with that, to take it in and get it adjusted, or because we don't have an issue with that. So really happy with the Lectric 2.0 electric bike. Thanks very much. Hope this helps you out. Miles of Smiles RVing.